And you see E Ft Peixoto in those fluorescent yellow shorts.
Real good.
Warming up here in the high
We got
socks.
two linesmen, David over here on my left, and Lauren's going to be over here on my right.
As we welcome back in Dave Vincent for our third Race for 8 quarterfinal of the morning here in Tucson at the
You got 1 minute.
incredible Tucson Memorial. It's a tremendous event, Dave. We've got all the best players supporting junior handball and also remembering those that we've lost in the last couple years here in the Tucson handball community.
And not just Tucson, but also just worldwide.
Yeah.
This is sort of to honor those people. Tom Gilbert in Southern California, intricate part of the handball world at the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball, but also what they do at the Los Caballeros Sports Village. There's that Tom Gilbert Memorial that they have named the whole court complex after, and there he is.
Yeah, we really miss Tom.
And Tom is part of what this Tucson Memorial Handball Tournament is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's just so many more that have just changed the lives of players that have been very positive role models in local communities everywhere, not just Tucson, but here in Tucson, it certainly was a moment when we had some of our friends pass, and it's more of a celebration of their lives, and we'll talk about it as the tournament goes on. The Tucson Memorial Handball Championships
Score
at the Tucson
0-0, time in.
Racket and Fitness Club, as Danny Cordova, originally from El Paso, Texas, now living in Illinois, is serving here.
Service.
Sponsored by Edel Handball.
Short ball.
Daniel
Second
known
serve.
for having one of the great serves on the Race for 8 tour. And after never playing a close match against E Ft Peixoto in their first 2 meetings, he did take Emmett to a tiebreaker at the
Side out.
Washington Athletic Club pre-race stop #1 in September. You remember, Dave, he won that second game 21-19. And now we have a glove change just 0 points into the game. Have you ever heard that before, Dave?
Never have, but I'm not surprised it was with this individual for the first.
Well, it's not really a glove change. It's a...
Well, it is being changed, though. Both
Well, he
of them.
took the liners off underneath the gloves, so he's keeping the same gloves on, just taking off the liners.
Equipment timeout.
Yeah.
And that is a player who realizes that it's kind of nippy outside, trying to get those on to prevent bone bruises and forget that you left them on during the warm-up. Nice shot there. And it was a nice dig out from Danny Cordova, and he's still in the rally here.
Point.
And a point to E Ft Peixoto, but Danny went for that exclusive rollout shot.
0.
Dave in the 9 through 16 place, which has always been viewed as one of the most important brackets here on the Race for 8 Tour, because this is where you get some
kind of like the 17th place playoff.
Yeah, where you get a lot of points that will help you at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Marco Chavez took down Vic Perez, and now he's going to play for 8th place against Anthony Celesto. That's a nice comeback performance for Marcos, who did not have a brilliant performance in his main round against Killian Carroll.
2 serve 0.
You know, Vic Perez, Dave, came into this tournament as somebody that you thought would be able to do a lot of damage, maybe arguably the best player in the qualifier, the best or second best, and yet he goes out here 1 and 2, finishes in 11th place.
And look at that shot there. E Ft Peixoto goes over the top down the right wall, and he gets another point.
And Dave, Vic Perez going against 2 of his good buddies and practice partners in this tournament, Mondo Ortiz in the first round, and then Marco Chavez, who's sort of his mentor.
Point.
Terrible start here for Danny Cordova, who's, Dave, swinging wildly. This kind of reminds me of a baseball player that goes up there swinging for the fences on every swing and just coming up with air. Almost like a Pedro Alvarez, Dave, who you don't know, but leads the league in strikeouts every year for the
No,
Pirates.
third baseman, power hitter.
Actually, the first baseman.
Good enough. Plays a hot corner.
The worst fielding first baseman in the league also.
Well, he
has
usually
that distinction.
Usually hits about.
Look at this.
It's an amazing rally.
I mean,
usually
but-
hits about 30 homers a year and
Yeah.
and also bats 230
Yeah.
High
and,
serve
and
0.
weighs 230. Look at this.
This is the same shot we've seen 4 times already in this match from Danny Cordova.
Just missing.
No, but
Ball. Second
it's a
serve.
crazy, wild, off-balance swing from up above his shoulders.
Is that nervous energy when you're playing behind the cameras and you have this crowd and you say, this rally's going on much longer than I wanted it to?
I think he's pressing, playing against a guy that he's never beat and
So
knows
5
that
serve 0.
he has to hit the ball nearly flat to win rallies.
Point.
And Dave, we've seen this in all 3 matches now. The favorite or
6 serve
the
0.
player that won jumping off to huge leads in the first game. 6-0, 5-0, 11-0. This lead's not over yet.
We should have told our director, Chris Grad, that this referee is a screamer and that we need him to turn the microphone down to the referee. He's historically very loud and yelling so everybody in the world can hear. But it
7
echoes here.
serve
You can
0.
actually hear in the yoga room the score of this match.
He's enthusiastic, Dave.
Both agree.
Thought that's what you
Short
wanted.
ball.
No, there's sometimes too much
Second
enthusiasm.
serve.
That's why they say to curb it. Curb your enthusiasm. Larry knows.
Yeah, these courts, the player in the front has no problem hearing what you're saying.
Oh, it's a point. Timeout.
I think, Dave, this referee would do very well as an outdoor 3-wall referee at the U.S. Open. He seems to have that same kind of cadence.
He might be applying for it.
Yeah, this is an audition.
Now 8-0 here. This is not uncommon today in the round of 8. We're
No,
seeing
that's
this sort
what
of
I said.
like, you know,
every
this,
match has been
about this.
5-0, 8-0, 11-0.
Yeah.
This could very well be
30
11-0.
seconds.
This is the Race for 8 Professional Handball Tour by ESPN3. And watch ESPN app, World Players of Handball, giving you that stream from Tucson, Arizona, where we are in our studios here just next door, as you see that picture there, to Emmett's left, our right of that screen. Or just on the other side of this wall to the right, in fact.
5 seconds. We go. Time in. Scores 8, serving 0.
Oh, that's a great diving get, but that's the only way Daniel's been able to get himself in the server's box.
I was just going to say that, you know, Danny had opportunities early and he checks that one up.
0 serves 8.
And the only way he's able to get up there is by diving in. That's really because of what Emmett has done. He's put him on the defense. There's a nice shot there.
And it's interesting, Dave, because Daniel's had some success against some of our top players, defeating Luis Moreno in New York, playing Mondo Ortiz pretty close a couple of times, but for some reason hasn't made any strides against Sean Lenning or Emmett Peixoto, losing badly to both those guys each time they've played.
Point. Nine serves 1. Short ball. Second serve. Side out. out.
There's Emmett's first air of this match. Just looks really in control of his game right now. Far different than what we saw at the World Championships when Emmett lost badly to Dermot Nash, and also at the US Open where he lost badly to Robbie McCarthy. Just kind of looked out of sorts there, Dave, and I think the opponents had a lot to do with that, but Emmett definitely looks like he's got his feet under him more here than he did in those events.
Yeah, he looks sharp here. And I was going to tell you earlier, I felt like, you know, Emmett isn't getting the press like he used to. He used to be that guy that everyone talked about. Now it's Mondo Ortiz and how hot he's playing, and this is going to be appealed. But it really can't forget about Mr. Consistency, Emmett Peixoto, who's been in the finals of 2 straight national tournaments.
But Mr. Consistency has dropped to number 4 in the Raise for 8 rankings now after being in the top 3 for the better part of the last 18 months.
Right out.
And we very well could see Sean Lenning jump into the number 2 spot ahead of Luis Moreno at the end of this tournament. We'll have to see how the rankings work out.
And I think Sean is the clear number 2 right now in pro handball. So if that did happen, I don't think I'd be frustrated by seeing that result.
10 serves 1.
And I think Emmett's a strong showing away from kind of disrupting all of that too. So
Emmett made the semifinals here last year.
Point.
Finals in San Francisco.
11 serves 1.
But Emmett has failed to advance to the semifinals in his last
Point.
3 race stops. The US Open, the Players Championship,
12
and the NYAC.
serves 1.
Lost in the quarterfinals in all 3 of those events.
Hold the ball. You okay?
now watch this ball here, what it does when it hits Emmett. Watch it come right out of the hand, boom. That was so fast, it's hard to tell if it hit his elbow, his wrist, his other hand, his trailing hand.
I thought it hit his fingers.
Yeah, that's a strange, but the ball bounced really fast, so it seemed like it hit bone. We didn't see it on the slow motion replay, or else we could probably identify it, but it's certainly going to hurt no matter what.
Not sure what Danny's trying to do here. I hit a 3-ball shot, but
side of the head, Dave.
oh.
I didn't realize that was that. That's about the 4th or 5th time someone's been hit in the face.
Yeah, and we've seen
in
some
these tournaments.
pretty,
I thought that ball hit his wrist.
pretty unfortunate incidents at this event with guys being hit in the face.
I was only off by about 4 feet.
Yeah.
That's how fast that ball came out of that revolving door. And we couldn't see it from this angle. Imagine what it looked like from Emmett's angle.
12 serving 1. Replay the ball. It's the screen.
Not a bad call.
They've the first 3 games today have been 15-5, 15-4, and now 12-1.
Oh, that's a great serve from a guy who isn't known to have the greatest, but is known to have one of the best consistent serves.
Emmett got some very good advice, Dave, between tournaments. And he's now wearing the Kobe shoes with high socks, which I believe, Dave, makes a huge difference in your movement.
14 serving 1. Short ball.
Can't wear those ankle socks, Dave, that are meant for golf to play handball.
Second serve. Right out.
You see that Emmett congratulated Danny Cordova on that first. And that nice fist shot, I should say, that
14.
gave him the side out. Look at that hop.
But it hopped in the worst spot. And Emmett, yesterday, Dave, in his opening round match, executed that revolving door kill 100% of the time.
1.
He was 10 for 10, virtually hitting the same spot every time that you just saw there.
I called him serve good.
Let's take a look at this if we
Both
can.
disagree, it's a short serve.
Never mind, we don't need to look at it now. this could be game point.
It's 14 serve.
And Dave, it seemed like
hold
this,
the ball, hold the ball.
this
14
game has gone by
serving one. Replay.
slower because of some stuff, and it's only been about 15 minutes.
Yeah, even under that, actually. But now we'll see a little break. But Dave, this has been right on the average for games today, which have been at 14 minutes per game. Matches have averaged in the first two matches 29 minutes per match.
Well, the referees have been informed that they are now allowing 5-minute breaks in between games, which is a committee decision saying take a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I wasn't part of that committee.
Yeah, well, you got kicked off, but we did not send you the letter stating that you got kicked off, which this is an awkward moment for me. At this moment, it's kind of awkward to tell you that you're no longer on that committee. Now, when I say we, I'm really meaning me.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to say we because it sounds more professional that way. It's like a whole bunch of minds came together. And
just curious why you think that they need 5 minutes after a 14-minute game. Doesn't really seem to make much sense to me.
Because the matches are scheduled on the hour.
Okay, time in.
Trying to pick up an extra
Scores,
2 minutes, but that could be 2 minutes that we're watching instructional videos or interviews.
Right.
It's a slide.
Well, both players shook hands. Referee, though, said it was a slide, so it's not completely over here. There you see.
Still a slide.
Watch this. There's the handshake there, and now the referee's just going to force them to serve it over.
Emmett's saying he couldn't have returned it anyway, I think.
Where's that other ball that you were warming up on?
Danny said, there it is. I'll shake your hand. What? We're going to play this over? And smile on Danny's face. He knows that he would not have gotten that ball, but now we're jarring back and forth between the ref and the player, and that's exactly what we needed, that extra 2 minutes. Now we can go back to 3 again. Now you're back on the committee.
Wow.
As we have officially voted you back in.
You and your 7 personalities.
Well, there's 7 people on the committee.
Yeah.
Now you're 8. 8 is enough.
It's 14 serving one. Replay.
There it is. Nope.
Take 5.
Now watch what Emmett does here with the referee. Normally there he said he put 2 fingers up saying, well, second time's a charm. Emmett Peixoto takes down Daniel Cordova here in game number 1, 15-1 in a first game that lasted about 15 minutes. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back in just a few minutes here on ESPN3, the Watch ESPN app, as we have more handball game number 2 of this men's Elite 8. Right around the corner, stick close. We'll have more handball in just a bit on ESPN.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Get a remarkable clean with non-toxic and biodegradable Simple Green all-purpose cleaner. You can use it straight out of the bottle on Tough Grime or dilute the concentrated formula to make multiple bottles of daily cleaner. Safe for all washable surfaces, Simple Green can be used indoors and out, from kitchens and bathrooms to living and play areas, countertops and floors to furniture and clothing. Keep your home and our world clean with Simple Green.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family.
Ooh.
So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Welcome back to the 2015 Tucson Memorial. This is the third men's race for a quarterfinal match of the morning. Emmett Peixoto from San Francisco taking on Lake Forest College's Daniel Cordova. It was Emmett Peixoto winning the first game easily, 15-1. Daniel Cordova's gonna have to make a lot of adjustments to climb into this match here in game number 2.
Bad bounce. Replay.
We only saw 5 ceiling shots in the first game. We saw 4 in that rally, with the last one resulting in a bad bounce.
Point.
Daniel's really struggled every aspect of this match,
Serve 0.
including the return of serve. And Daniel had about the best possible scenario to end that rally. Could have hit it into the right corner, straight down the left, or
2 serve 0.
about an inch high off the middle of the front wall, and he just puts it right into the ground.
Second serve. Point.
Daniel trying to hit that into the back wall and just completely shanks it. He's trying to hit the ball 60 feet and he hit it about 2 inches.
Serving 0. Short ball.
And it in cruise control here, scoring 18 of the 19 points scored in this match.
You overran it. He just hit it back to your feet. You overran it. You overran it when it finally did see it. It came to your body. So side out. 0 serving 3.
Strange call there from our referee.
Short.
Seemed like a pretty obvious screen, but Daniel Cordova benefits from that.
Second serve. Side out. 3 serving 0. Point.
2 unreturned serves here for Daniel in this second
4
game.
serving 0. Short. Second serve. Point.
And make that 3. Daniel Cordova just out of sorts.
5 serving 0.
Emmett feeling it now. It was Daniel Cordova defeating Texas's Adam Bernhard last night in the round of 16.
0.
Totally different game here today, though. Emmett Peixoto completely in control. Really not allowing Daniel into this match at all.
Bad bounce, the corner.
In fact, Daniel's only point in this match came on a diving, sprawling, no-look re-kill. Other than that, he's
Replay,
mounted no
6-0.
offense whatsoever. As we welcome back in Dave Vincent. Dave, I know you took care of some business out there at tournament control, but it's been Emmett Peixoto continuing where he left off in that first game, leading 7-0. You remember he led 12-0 in game 1 before Daniel got on the board, and he only got on the board once.
7 serve 0.
Yeah, watching it courtside, I got to see every single one of those points, and David really took care of business before the timeout ended, but it just, not trying to be too selfish, but standing there watching those players and how Emmett's playing right now, it's just unreal from that angle.
Yeah.
Short
right
ball.
there at the back wall. Also, the broadcast is coming through really clear on ESPN3 on the Watch
Second
ESPN
serve.
app. It's such a high definition feed that it makes those scars on the back glass even pop out more. And Emmett's looking really good in this tournament right now. What I'm seeing from Emmett is shot selection is really smart.
Mm-hmm.
This is not an advertisement for Sony, but there's a lot of cameras poked in here.
Side out. I didn't see a slide. Did you see a slide right here? I didn't see a slide. I didn't see a slide at all. It's a side out.
Emmett's still lobbying for calls.
Side out.
Up 23-1.
I seen a good contact on that. 0 serving 8.
Boy, that's tough. Danny Cordova looks like he's just tired from this tournament. Doesn't have the same spring in his step, and Emmett is just making him get a full tour of this court. Nice shot there from Cordova. It sets up that kill shot that he misses, but he doesn't miss that one. Nice left-handed kill down the left wall. Danny traveled over here with a group from Juarez and El Paso that would stun any local handball director if they held a tournament. Nearing 50 players from Texas area.
And they will be holding a WPH sanctioned event here at the end of November, Dave. We're expecting it to be one of the best weekend local tournaments that you'll ever play. If you have a chance to go down there, you definitely should. I know Killian Carroll is thinking about going to that one, Dave. Perhaps some of our top pros will make the trip. But what's most impressive, Dave, is not only do they have 2 of the invited 8 pros here from the Juarez community, but more than 50 junior players playing down there.
Yeah, that's really, really impressive. Another guy thinking about that tournament is Timbo Gonzalez. Let's go to Kara Mack, who is courtside right now with Timbo Gonzalez. Let's go to Kara.
Yeah, I'm with Timbo because we're having some fun with players. We want to learn more about them this weekend, okay? So I'm going to play a little game with you, if that's all right. During this, you guys will just have to listen as we take on the match. Are you ready? Okay, here, I'm going to have to stand up with me. Scoot back up with me, too, a little bit. Here. All right. 10 questions, fairly easy. Number 1, how long does it take for you to get over losing a match?
Now, probably like 2 minutes.
9, serving 0.
Blondes, brunettes, or redheads?
Blonde.
Toughest opponent you've ever played?
Ooh, that's a good one. Probably Juan Santos.
Most entertaining R48 pro to watch?
Sean Lennon.
Thank you.
If you were an animal, what would you be and why?
Side out.
If I was an animal, a lion, I believe. So aggressive.
Favorite athlete in any sport?
Steph Curry.
One place or activity you will never be seen or doing?
Squash, playing squash.
A favorite movie quote or movie?
Dawn of the Apes.
Window seat or aisle?
Aisle.
That took a long time, just not middle seat, right? And second serve, last question. Go for an ace or play it safe?
Go for it. Go for the ace.
There you go. We learned a little bit today about Timbo. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Yeah, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Kara. Timbo Gonzalez, one of the very best handball players on the planet. Very surprised by that Stephen Curry answer about favorite athlete when he is chums with Blake Griffin. And since talking to Timbo Gonzalez around the club this weekend, all he talks about is Blake Griffin.
2-minute glove change.
Dave, so it's kind of weird that he'd say that's his favorite athlete.
Yeah, it's a bit much,
2 minutes.
actually, if you ask me. But, you know, they're buddies.
Wow.
So I guess why not?
I mean, they're friends. You would think that one of the only person you know in the NBA.
Yeah.
The only person you know is actually one of the best NBA players, if you've watched what he's done recently, which has just been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yet it's not even his favorite athlete. I mean, you're my best friend, by the way, but you're not my favorite athlete. I'm not trying to analyze it, but I am.
Favorite athlete is something different. I mean, why can't you take off your biased glasses and just evaluate who you'd like to watch the most? I mean, Stephen Curry, Dave, has got that wow factor. You know, he does things that really no one else does. I heard today, I don't know how they keep stats like this, Dave, but I wanted to share this with you. But since we don't have a chance to ever speak off the air, I bring it up now. He's the first player with 209 points, 38 assists, and 39 rebounds through the first 6 games of a season. Now, how could you track something like that?
Well, a computer does it.
Okay, but how are you going to come up with those exact stats? I mean,
well, because
what's next? He's the
you can find any stat you want.
Yeah,
that's proven that if you want to find somebody, because they know at 210.
But there's players that have had a lot more points,
right,
but not as many rebounds, or maybe more assists, but not as I just.
But as soon as you go to 210 points, now you're talking about Michael Jordan has this, and so they have to bring it to at 209 he actually is the best ever, but 210 points. Or you know what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
If you go one more game, then now he's like 20th on the list.
Yeah.
But if you go one fewer game, he's 30th on the list.
Okay.
But if you go that game, it just happens to be.
So just by virtue of the
Yeah.
209 points, he's already in
Yeah.
the top 5.
Right.
And now you're just seeing down to those other guys with 209 plus have this many rebounds,
Right.
this many assists.
It's just all part of computer data, but they're searching for that stat, and they got it. Here we are at 1-9 with Cordova serving.
Much like Paul Brady was last season, Dave, on the Race Freight regular season tour, Golden State undefeated so far this season, and they've taken on all playoff teams from last season and beat them all, including your beloved Clippers, that team that everyone just loves so much.
Look at this play here. Very aggressive from both of these guys.
Bad bounce off the ceiling.
So frustrating. That was a nice rally, one of the best we've had of this match, and it ends on that
Replay.
light fixture up in the roof.
It's 1 serving 9.
You're Emmett doing a lot of exhaling here. And Dave, I know you'll be excited to learn that ESPN will now be covering the WWE, so you'll be able to follow all your favorite superstars on your favorite network.
Scores.
They're going to be covering it on the app, or which
no,
channel?
they'll be showing highlights during specific ESPN sports centers.
Okay.
Second serve.
I can see that, I guess.
I mean, when you've got Survivor Series tournament coming up to crown the new WWE champion, how are you going to not show highlights of that?
Side out.
Obviously, Seth Rollins out now for 6 to 9 months after tearing his ACL, MCL, and meniscus in a turnbuckle powerbomb
1 serving 9.
maneuver that went wrong against the Demon.
Guess that wasn't scripted.
Well,
big roundhouse here from Cordova. Now he's going to go for it, and he just missed that shot again this whole match. He's been missing it.
yeah, well, that's the 7th time he's missed that, what you'd call the identical shot, which is the deep court right-hand kill
9
attempt.
serving 1.
This is why Emmett makes it so hard for you. Everything you're trying to do is him flipping it to the back wall, and then he gets everything you hit. Going to be big setup.
Oh! Replay.
Oh.
No. Definitely not a
Underball.
replay there.
Boy, when he
No.
called no like that, that was a avoidable no, the way he said it.
Oy.
Danny's thinking that Emmett's going to take that with his left, so he's getting out of the way to the left, and he walks right into the shot, and that is a clear avoidable hinder. And I really felt from the cadence of the referee, he was given that as an avoidable, but he didn't. And Emmett Peixoto goes down the hallway to do what he does best.
He's going to teach philosophy down there.
Let's go to Karamak, who's courtside. Although one of the players is directly behind Karamak, and it's gonna be very difficult for her and our interview team because she's in a narrow passageway, and he's gonna be right behind her. But let's go to Karamak anyway, who's courtside with Stephen Cooney. Kara?
All right, hopefully you have us here. We backed up a little bit so we don't get nailed by, I think it's Emmett back there. I'm with Stephen Cooney. How are you doing this weekend?
Hey, good. I'm pretty good.
Good. We're learning about players this weekend. We're having a little bit of fun today. So we're going to go through, I just put Timbo through this. I'm going to ask you some questions. We're going to learn more about you, all right?
Okay.
All right, how long does it take for you to get over losing a match?
Let me see. 5 minutes.
Oh, good. Okay. I was going to say, so you forgot about that, right? Over it. You're moving on.
Okay.
Blondes, brunettes, or redheads?
Ooh, well, it depends. I'd say brunettes.
What does it depend on?
It depends. Well, let me see. That's a tricky one. My girlfriend has black hair, so yeah. So I'm guessing. Yeah.
Just say black hair.
Yeah, black hair. Yeah.
Perfect. The toughest opponent you've ever played?
Armando Ortiz 5 minutes ago.
I thought you forgot about that. You're over it.
Yeah, I'm over it, but I haven't forgotten.
Most entertaining R48 Pro to watch?
Let me see. Emma Peixoto. Yeah, games go on forever.
If you were an animal, what would you be and why?
A cat, because they get to sleep all day. Or a panda, 21 hours a day to sleep, so a panda.
I never knew that fact.
Yeah, there you go.
Have you ever seen a panda in real life?
No, but I like them.
Favorite athlete in any sport?
Roger Federer. Yeah, he's everything I'm not. He's effortless. And
Do you know who else has answered that question that way?
let me see. I'd say Luis
David.
Moreno.
I believe it was Dave Fink.
Is it David Fink? He plays tennis.
We'll have to ask him. One place or activity you will never be caught at or doing?
Activity.
You wouldn't be caught dead.
Breaking the law. I'm just a law-abiding citizen all the way. Yeah.
Favorite movie quote or movie?
Favorite movie? Shawshank Redemption. I don't know any quotes. I'm terrible with quotes. Yeah, here he comes.
Two more questions for you. Here we go. Ready? Window seat or aisle?
Oh, window.
And you would be one to know because sometimes you have to travel very far.
Yeah, window. Definitely window, because you can look out and, if somebody is talking to you, you can just look the other way out the window and pretend you're ignoring them. So, yeah.
Second serve, go for an ace or play it safe?
Oh, play it safe. I can't even ace the ball, so my first serve is play it safe. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Stephen. All right, back to you guys.
So you're wondering what happened there with Emmett Peixoto, why there was an extended timeout. He actually got sick and left the court, Dave, to
10, serving 1.
get rid of breakfast, as they might say. I don't know who they are, but referee didn't penalize, but I don't think it even trickled over to the referee of what the problem was to begin with. And it's not, though it's not an injury timeout, it is a moment where the player has to do what they have to do.
Side out. One, serving 11.
A smart move from Danny Cordova. He got Emmett to balk and stop in his tracks, and then he was unable to convert, and that was the huge setup and opportunity.
You see Daniel just not letting the ball drop at all, Dave. He's hitting the ball from shoulder height on shots that should be dropping to about his knee or lower.
Point.
And there's another one.
12, serving 1. Point.
And this one looks like it's going to end fairly quick here. And what a score line it would be if Emmett were to go on and win these last 2 points, Dave. 15 to 1, 15 to 1. That's what we could see with an Elite 8 member, Danny Cordova.
Thank you.
Yeah, this would
13,
be
serving 1.
the most lopsided match in the history of the race for 8. A 2-game match. With the losing player scoring, as if it stood, just 2 points combined. Now, last night we saw a player score just 3.
Right out.
Emmett trying to end that rally a couple times with fish shots.
Scores 9, serving. There's no timeout. You already have 2 timeouts.
Referee did penalize him on that long timeout that he took.
2-minute glove change.
So Emmett doesn't get a timeout, but he gets something that's twice as good, a 2-minute glove change.
And you hear the crowd also catching wind to that as well and gave him just a little boo. But, you know, I think Emmett does deserve this. I mean,
check the gloves.
When a player has to leave the court in this confined area where there's no place to go, the locker rooms are located on the other side of the complex. He had to relieve himself of his breakfast. And Dave, you said this before, he has an upset stomach or a condition that this is sort of thing that happens with him. He had to leave rather quickly and find a garbage can. He had to go very far away to find one. And the referee gave him 2 timeouts in that 1 timeout that he took.
20 seconds. Oh,
it's not an injury.
The referee, though,
a minute and 20 seconds.
Not knowing the rule, you do have 2 timeouts plus a 30-second timeout. Emmett has not used his 30-second yet. So that's a big fine that'll go towards the Tahiti fund. Won't get into the amounts, but
it's in the thousands.
Yeah, wow.
But that only takes care of 1 plane flight.
Okay, time in.
Right.
Scores 1, serving 13.
I was in my tiki hut last year when I was texting you in your tiki hut, which is 15 feet away. Boy, that was fun. Here's a big setup, Emmett left hand.
And Daniel turns himself around there. That could have been a potential injury there with his knee buckling the wrong way.
Side out. Scores 13, serving 1. Good ball.
That was a nice little serve right there from Emmett. Gets a crack right on the short line.
And now Emmett's going for the record here, Dave. Most lopsided victory in a 2-game race for 8 match.
They're appealing that serve, Dave.
Agrees, 1 disagrees. It's a point.
Well, I'd already had that point etched in.
It's 14, serving 1. Oh, screen ball. Replay. It's 14, serving 1.
Thus far, Dave, we haven't seen 1 top player referee a match. You'll see a lot of complaining about the calls, but yet you'll never see one of them step up and actually call a match, even when they lose, which I think is pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
Time in. Second serve. Service. Side out.
Emmett looks back as if it was a bad bounce or something strange happening around that back glass. And it is really dark here, Dave. You play on these courts locally, and it can get dark back there. Right now they even have all the blinders down, so it's really dark in the clubhouse. Almost like you're at a movie theater. It was so dark, I got onto my cell phone and started talking to my friends, just like the movie theater. I'll explain it to you later.
Thank you.
Side out. 14, serving 1. Slide. Check it. Replay, 14, serving 1.
First game went to Emmett Peixoto 15 to 1.
Ball.
Now he's trying to get another 15 to 1 here.
Second serve.
Let's look at the replay here.
Timeout.
And now you hear Emmett letting out some of the probably most profane stuff that we could almost not hear. Watch this, Dave. Watch. Right in the midsection. But I don't know what Emma was doing turning around that way after that serve.
It's a replay.
Now Danny wants an avoidable on top of that.
Oh, wow.
It was close. It would.
Look at this, Dave. Is it avoidable or is it not? I don't know if we.
He ran forward and cut it off.
Here it is.
It was
Oh, yeah, it's a clear avoidable.
just nobody can move out of that.
Dave.
Yeah.
I mean,
replay.
how could that not be an avoidable hinder? What was Emmett thinking he could possibly do with that serve?
Wow.
And there it is. Emma Peixoto takes down Daniel Cordova and advances here into the semifinals in Tucson, Arizona at the Memorial Championship Handball Tournament. Race for 8, stop number 2 on tour of the 5th season. And he did it in convincing fashion, but also in the same sort of Emmett Peixoto fashion that we've grown to know and love from him, which is about 50 minutes. It took him to win 15-1, 15-1. Now, Mondo Ortiz and Killian Carroll and Sean Linning, they seem to put people away in 28 minutes, but with that same sort of score line. But here, Emmett has to, he finds a way to bring the clock all the way up to that 50-minute mark. Let's go to Kara Mack, who's courtside with Emmett Peixoto now.
I am here with Emmett courtside. Great match. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, taking that one pretty, not easily. I mean, it lasted a little bit a while longer, but great score there. What are you thinking coming in? What are you taking away from this one?
Well, I was able to control the pace of the game by having a really consistent serve. I hit a few shorts at the very end, so I'm going to try and keep that to a minimum. And keep hopping the ball, keep mixing up the serves. I served a variety of serves to him, kept him guessing and on his heels, so that's what I'm going to do. I plan on doing against Sean, too.
Was that your plan coming in, was to kind of mix it up?
If Sean wins. Yeah, that was my plan. I've been really working on my serve because when my serve's on, I seem to win. If it's a little off, I lose confidence in the rest of my game. So I'm going to keep working and plan on serving well.
Very dominant there against Daniel. How did you feel coming into this one against him and how you guys lined up together?
Well, I played him at the WAC, and he took a game off me. But I gained a lot of experience by playing him and learned what he liked and what he disliked. So I did a lot of drive passes against him, and then once he was on his heels, I started to shoot it. So I felt really confident, and that was my game plan from the start, and it worked.
And what do you feel most accomplished for this match?
I need to keep shooting, keep my serve going strong, and I just need to stay aggressive, fly kill, stuff like that.
Okay, great job. Good luck in the semis.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kara. We are going to take a break. For Dave Fink, Chris Garad, Linda Manning, Ben Garad, Matt Titano, and those that are helping out with the live broadcast. My name is Dave Vincent. We're going to be back in just a bit here at ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app. Stick around.
Turn it off.
No, it doesn't work on these.
Get a remarkable clean with non-toxic and biodegradable Simple Green all-purpose cleaner. Spray straight from the bottle on heavy grime or dilute the concentrated formula to make up to 11 bottles of daily cleaner. Safe for all washable surfaces, Simple Green can be used indoors and out. From kitchens and bathrooms to living and play areas, countertops and floors to furniture and clothing. Keep your home and our world clean with Simple Green.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards.
Oh, don't. Oh.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it comes.
Oh, no!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you. Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.